Okay, so are you ready for this? We are going deep into the human microbiome, like deep, deep, to a place scientists are just now discovering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about something called obelisks.
Hmm.
And trust me, this is gonna change how you think about what's living inside you, like right now.
Wow.
We've got a scientific paper hot off the presses,
Okay.
and the internet's already buzzing about it on Reddit, of course.
Of course.
So what are these obelisks? Why are scientists freaking out? And what does it mean for, well, us?
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
It's fascinating how something so tiny could go unnoticed for so long.
Yeah.
These obelisks are incredibly small. We're talking structures made of RNA,
Okay.
about 1,000 nucleotides long.
Wait, hold on.
Mhm.
For those of us who haven't cracked open a biology textbook lately,
Right.
what exactly does that mean?
Okay, so think of it like this. Our DNA,
Okay.
the instruction manual for our bodies,
Right.
then, is made up of these things called nucleotides.
Right.
And RNA is like its messenger carrying out those instructions.
Gotcha.
Now imagine a tiny structure built from those building blocks.
Okay.
So small, it makes a virus look gigantic.
Wow.
That's an obelisk.
So they're like mini viruses.
Not exactly. That's where the mystery lies.
Oh, really?
Scientists are still debating whether they're more like viruses or something called plasmids, which are like little loops of DNA that bacteria use to share information.
Interesting. Okay, so tiny, mysterious, and potentially everywhere.
Yeah.
The paper mentions they found nearly 30,000 different types of these things,
I know, it's wild.
appearing in about 10% of the human microbiome samples they studied.
Right.
I'm guessing that means there's a good chance I have some too, right?
Very likely.
Oh, really?
And in some areas like the mouth,
Yeah.
they found obelisks in a whopping 50% of the samples.
What?
So yes, you might have these little enigmas hanging out in your mouth right now.
Okay, that's both cool and slightly creepy.
Right.
So what's the big deal? Are these things harmful, helpful, just like freeloading?
That's what researchers are trying to figure out.
Okay.
They found genes within obelisks that code for proteins, which suggests they might be able to replicate themselves,
Uh-huh.
kind of like viruses do.
Right.
But unlike viruses, they don't seem to have the genes for making a protective shell
Oh.
to exist outside of cells.
So if they can't survive outside cells, how do they spread?
That's a million-dollar question.
Really?
Scientists haven't actually observed them spreading between cells yet, which is really unusual.
Yeah.
And they haven't seen any evidence of obelisks affecting the cells they're in either.
Huh.
This is why some researchers are leaning toward the plasmid theory.
Plasmids, those little loops of DNA and bacteria, right?
Right.
But you said earlier that obelisks are made of RNA, not DNA.
You're right. Good catch. And that's another layer of complexity.
Oh, geez.
Obelisks are significantly larger than your typical plasmid,
Okay.
and their RNA structure is unusual.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like they're in a category all their own.
So we've got these tiny, mysterious structures that might be replicating themselves.
Yeah.
Potentially hanging out in all of us. And we have no idea what they're doing.
I know, right?
I have to admit, that's a little unsettling.
It definitely challenges our understanding of what constitutes life, doesn't it?
Right?
And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, no.
This brings us to another interesting aspect of this discovery: the public reaction.
Oh, yeah. The internet is always a fun place to gauge how people are feeling about these things.
Right.
I bet the Reddit threads are a wild ride.
They definitely are. There's a mix of awe,
Yeah.
confusion, and some pretty good humor.
Yeah.
Some users are comparing obelisks to everything from midichlorians in Star Wars
Oh, wow.
to those tiny, mysterious creatures from that old Men in Black movie.
I love that movie. Okay, but here's where it gets even more interesting.
Yeah.
What does all this mean for us?
Yeah.
I mean, why should we care about these little obelisk things?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the answer could be huge.
Okay.
We're talking about potentially rewriting the textbooks on the evolution of life.
Wow.
Some scientists believe obelisks could be a missing link between simple genetic molecules
Okay.
and more complex viruses.
Okay, now that's mind-blowing.
Right.
So these little guys could be like ancient ancestors of viruses.
Exactly. And remember, we're talking about the human microbiome here.
Right.
That means if obelisks are interacting with the bacteria and other microorganisms in our guts,
Yeah.
they could be impacting our health in ways we're only just beginning to understand.
Wait, so you're saying these things could be affecting our digestion, our immune system, all that stuff?
It's definitely a possibility.
Oh, wow.
Think about it. We know the microbiome plays a huge role in everything,
Right.
from our mental health to our risk for chronic
Yeah.
diseases.
Yeah.
If obelisks are part of that ecosystem,
Uh-huh.
they could be a major player in the game.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. This is big.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we need to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
And remember, we're still just scratching the surface here.
Right.
The scientists who discovered obelisks, they're urging caution, emphasizing that more research is needed.
Okay.
They haven't even observed them impacting their host cells or spreading between cells, which deepens the mystery.
So even the experts are saying, like, hold your horses. We're not sure what we're dealing with yet.
Right.
But that's what makes this so exciting, right? It's like we've stumbled onto a brand new continent in the world of biology.
Yeah.
And we're just starting to map its coastlines.
Precisely. And think about this.
Okay.
The discovery of obelisks came from analyzing existing data sets. It kind of underscores how much valuable information is potentially hidden
Oh, yeah.
within the vast amounts of data we've already collected.
So there could be countless other discoveries just waiting to be unearthed.
Absolutely.
Wow. It makes you wonder what other secrets our microbiome is holding.
It really does, and this raises a crucial question about the tools and techniques we use to study the microscopic world.
Okay.
The fact that obelisks went undetected for so long
Right.
suggests that our methods might be missing other crucial pieces of the puzzle.
You're saying there could be entire ecosystems of microorganisms,
Yeah.
perhaps even more bizarre than obelisks?
Well,
We haven't even begun to imagine.
It's a humbling thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
It reminds us of the limitations of our current understanding
Right.
and the vastness of the unknown. Imagine
Yeah.
all this time, these things have been living inside us, influencing who knows what.
Right.
And we had absolutely no clue.
Okay, that's officially blowing my mind. I'm starting to feel like those scientists in the movies who accidentally unleash some ancient, powerful force.
That's a vivid image. But remember, we're not talking science fiction here.
Okay.
This is real science.
Right.
And it's unfolding right now. And that's what makes it so captivating.
Yeah.
It's a journey of constant exploration and discovery.
Right.
With each new finding opening up a whole new world of possibilities. For example, let's go back to those Reddit threads you mentioned.
Yeah.
There was one discussion that really captured the heart of this discovery.
What?
Are obelisks just passive passengers?
Right.
Or do they have a more active role to play in our bodies?
Yeah, I saw that thread.
Yeah.
Some users were convinced that obelisks must be doing something, while others argued that they could simply be inert bystanders just along for the ride.
Yeah.
It's like trying to figure out if a guest at a party is just there to observe
Yeah.
or is secretly pulling the strings.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
And it perfectly reflects the scientific uncertainty surrounding these entities. We simply don't have enough information yet
Yeah.
to determine whether they're actively influencing their host cells or just hitching a ride.
But the fact that this question is being raised by both scientists and the general public speaks volumes.
Yeah.
This discovery has sparked curiosity and ignited imaginations worldwide.
Totally.
It's a testament to the innate human desire to understand the world around us, even at the microscopic level.
Yeah.
And it's why this deep dive has been so fascinating. It's like we're peeking behind the curtain of reality and getting a glimpse of something truly extraordinary.
Absolutely. And while we don't have all the answers yet, we know one thing for sure.
Okay.
The discovery of obelisks is a powerful reminder that the world is full of mysteries, even within our own bodies.
It challenges our assumptions about what constitutes life. And opens up a Pandora's box of questions about the evolution and interconnectedness of all living things.
And perhaps most importantly,
Yeah.
it encourages us to keep exploring, keep questioning, and to never underestimate the power of a tiny discovery to change our understanding of the universe.
Yeah, it really makes you realize, like, how much we still don't know even about ourselves.
I know.
It's both humbling and incredibly exciting.
Yeah, it is. And you know, this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how we talked about those obelisk genes that code for proteins?
Yeah, the ones that suggest they might be able to, like, replicate, like, viruses.
Exactly. Well, those proteins, nicknamed oblins, are unlike anything scientists have ever seen before.
Really?
They have unique structures and functions that we're only just beginning to understand.
So we have these mysterious obelisks made of RNA potentially replicating themselves and carrying a whole set of equally mysterious proteins.
I know.
It's like a Russian nesting doll of biological enigmas.
It really is, and the implications are huge.
Oh, wow.
If these oblins are interacting with our cells or the bacteria in our microbiome,
Right.
they could be influencing a whole range of processes,
Like what?
from our immune response to our metabolism.
Okay, now I'm really starting to see why scientists are so intrigued by these things.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about a potential revolution in our understanding of human biology.
That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Imagine the possibilities.
Yeah.
If we could harness the power of oblins for medical treatments,
Oh.
we might be able to develop new therapies for diseases that are currently difficult to treat.
Or maybe even enhance our own biological functions.
Right.
I'm not saying we'll be like flying around with superpowers anytime soon.
Right.
But who knows what the future holds?
That's the beauty of scientific discovery.
Yeah.
It opens up a world of possibilities that we can't even imagine yet.
So where do we go from here? What are the next steps in unraveling the mysteries of obelisks and their oblins?
Well, the first step is more research.
Of course.
Scientists need to figure out how obelisks replicate, how they interact with their host cells, and what role those oblins play.
And that means more funding, more experiments, more late nights in the lab.
Exactly. This is where public interest and support can make a real difference.
Oh, yeah.
The more people who are aware of this discovery and its potential, the more likely it is that we'll see the resources dedicated to unlocking its secrets.
So to our listeners out there, if you're as fascinated by this discovery as we are, spread the word.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, share the research, and let's see what amazing things we can learn together.
That's a great point. Citizen science and public engagement are crucial for driving scientific progress.
All right, so to wrap things up, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this deep dive into the world of obelisks?
I think the biggest takeaway is this.
Yeah.
We are still in the very early stages of understanding the complexity and wonder of the human microbiome.
It's a vast, unexplored territory teeming with life forms we're only just beginning to discover, and who knows what other incredible secrets are waiting to be revealed.
The discovery of obelisks is a reminder that the universe is full of surprises,
Yeah.
and that even the smallest of things can have a profound impact on our understanding of the world.
So, dear listener, we leave you with this final thought. The next time you look in the mirror, remember that you are not just one organism, but a complex ecosystem, a walking, talking community of trillions of cells and microorganisms, all interacting in ways we're only beginning to grasp. And somewhere in that intricate tapestry of life, perhaps even right now, tiny obelisks and their enigmatic oblins are playing their part in the symphony of your existence.